A national survey of 14 to 22-year-olds found that 90% of them experience symptoms of depression and are searching out this issue online via other people's stories through video. But what happens if they come across a video like this?
So to answer your question, Negro, if somebody that I was responsible for started threatening that they were going to commit suicide, I would dare them to do it, and then I would never talk to them again. If I saw them in real life again, I'd be like, wow, dude, you didn't commit suicide. Good for you. And then I would move on. Like, I literally cut ties because I cannot be surrounded by people who do that shit. Because I would literally lose my mind.
It's not just about depression either. Almost 20% of adults and over 30% of 13 to 18-year-olds struggle with anxiety. Yet, only about a third of them ever seek help. And a lot of that may have to do with online influence by playing games with people like this scrubby guy.
And you don't have the strength to fucking go out there and make a change. So you're gonna complain about it, so that way you have other people who are in the same boat to reinforce your shitty behavior. That's literally all it is. So I don't have sympathy towards anybody like that. I don't give a fuck.
And this guy only gets worse.
I didn't even give a fuck about my own girlfriend's anxiety. When we first started dating, I told her, I was like, this shit is fake, knock it off. And now, like I said, guess what, chat? She literally doesn't ever talk about her anxiety.
Yeah, because you are a jerk whose narcissism is making her feel like she is in the wrong, which, if I had to guess, is just increasing this poor girl's anxiety. I hope what I've said so far is not controversial. It seems pretty cut and dry. Of course, that's what I thought when I posted this TikTok a while back about Andrew Tate.
If someone comes to me and goes, oh, I get really shy and anxious, I'll say, so? No, oh, okay, that must be horrible. No, so? Do it anyway. Yeah, but I'm shy. I don't care. But no one cares. The whole world doesn't care. If you could drop dead tomorrow, the world wouldn't care. The sun's still gonna rise, people are still gonna go to work. So you're gonna sit here and worry about speaking?
This clip in particular is so unhelpful. Is this the kind of support you would need to feel better and take action on your mental health and social anxiety? Probably not. I really don't understand the argument here. If you go up to your friend and you tell them that you're feeling anxious and their response is, so? I don't care. The whole world doesn't care. That would not be helpful to you. More than likely, it would make you feel worse. I don't know if people are brainwashed by Tate, aka Top G, but let's continue with Andrew Tate. But before you do, I want to tell you something that you can do in 10 minutes to help you feel less anxious throughout the day. And that's create a healthy morning routine. A healthy morning routine has had a significantly positive impact on my mental health and life. And it took me years to build one that works really well for me. But it doesn't have to take you that long, because I have a new book coming out called 10 Minutes to Feel Less Anxious, which is basically a shortcut to creating an optimal morning routine for you. It takes you through the mistakes I made, the common misconceptions, how to get started, the best practices that you can use in your routine, plus a whole lot more. The book is available for pre-order right now at feellessanxious.com or at any other big online retailer. Now, let's get back to the video. Here's what Andrew Tate said on the Piers Morgan show when Piers asked him, do you think depression is real?
I believe that feeling depressed is real. I don't believe depression as a clinical disease is real, no.
Really? Someone commented on a video of mine not long ago saying, depression isn't real, dude. And my response was, feel free to back that statement up. I say that because you can't back that statement up. You can't prove that depression is fake, but I can prove that it's real. Look at these two brain scans. The brain scan on the left shows brain activity of someone with depression, and the brain scan on the right shows normal brain activity. And the increase of blue and green colors you see, along with the decreased white and yellow areas, that actually shows a decreased brain activity due to depression. Please, I am begging you to argue against this. Before you do though, let me just say that I don't disagree with everything that Andrew Tate says.
I know that feeling depressed is real. I believe that the number one power you have against these things are trying to take control of your own mind and affecting your own life.
I 100% agree with this. We do have the power to take back control from depression, just like I say about social and general anxiety.
I believe that it's not healthy to hand over all your power and believe that depression is an outside disease that you can't affect. The things that made them feel better is when they woke up and said, you know what, I'm not gonna allow this to damage me anymore. I'm gonna take responsibility. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna fight this as hard as I can.
I also agree with this too. It's easy to sit and stay in it.
I am dead inside.
Now, don't get me wrong, you do need to sit in it for a little bit just so you can kind of understand it, feel it, and process what you're feeling. But don't let yourself stay in it too long, because you don't want to become this self-loathing individual seeking pity and outside resources to help get you out of it when you haven't taken any action yourself. You need to take action. One reason a lot of people get stuck in depression is because of what Andrew Tate says right here.
If someone comes to me and says I'm clinically depressed, I would say the first thing you need to do is stop accepting the identity of a clinically depressed person. Stop accepting you have no control over this.
Anytime you say, I am depressed, or I am anxious, instead of I feel depressed or I feel anxious, you are identifying yourself as that feeling. And your identity is not based around depression, anxiety, or any other emotion. Depression or anxiety is how you can be feeling in the moment, but it's not your identity. So when you say, I am insert emotion, you are subconsciously telling your brain that you are that feeling. And if your brain thinks that you are that feeling, it's kind of hard to stop that. Man, I am hungry. Nice to meet you, hungry.
A lot of people who are clinically depressed are suffering with something in their life, and if you fix the problem in their life, perhaps they won't feel depressed anymore. That's not a disease.
Yeah, but this is probably true. I don't hear too often of people feeling depressed just because. There is usually a reason for it, and a rather strong one a lot of times. Death in the family, losing your job, getting bullied on social media are all reasons that I've heard, and probably yourself has heard, of people feeling depressed. And I get why these things would make you feel depressed, but I also know that these are all solvable problems, and or you can find ways to work through these situations. Basically, you are not doomed to depression forever.
I can't become clinically depressed.
What do you make of this statement? I know I've been agreeing and defending Tate's views a lot through this video so far, but I don't know if I can back this one up for him. What is clinical depression? A mental health disorder characterized by persistently depressed mood or loss of interest in activities, causing significant impairment in daily life. I think the key word here is persistent. Can Andrew Tate or anyone keep themselves from feeling persistently depressed? I believe so if you know the strategies to use to help you get out of that feeling of depression. I know exercise reduces depression. I know cold plunges help with depression. I know journaling helps with depression. And I can go on, but the point is that there is many things that you can try before taking antidepressants, which may and probably will have negative side effects on you. Quick disclaimer, no hate to anybody taking antidepressants. I'm not like an anti-medication type person. So if you are listening to this and you're like, oh, okay, I want to stop, don't stop because of what I'm saying. You can start implementing some of these strategies or stuff that you find online. But if you are wanting to stop, please go see your doctor first and find a safe way to kind of wean yourself off, or whatever strategy your doctor says that is a viable one for you. This next clip represents how I feel about Andrew Tate, because I agree with a lot of what this guy says. It's just the solution/tone of what he prescribes for depression is just too far out there for me. Here's Andrew Tate's advice to a fan who has clinical depression.
I had a guy who emailed me saying he was clinically depressed and he was going to kill himself. I obviously am not a psychiatrist, I'm not a doctor. I told him, I said, have you been to a psychiatrist? He said, yes, I'm clinically depressed. I've been on these pills, this amount of time. I'm on antidepressants, it doesn't work. I said, I don't know what to say to you besides this. And he said he lost his girlfriend, that's why he became clinically depressed. I said, listen, go to the gym, get a six-pack first. Once you've got a six-pack, email me again.
I get it. Go work out. Like I mentioned before, exercise has proven benefits to help reduce depression. The
The get a six-pack part is kind of arbitrary, but whatever. This next part is the part I really don't agree with.
If you still feel like killing yourself, I don't know what else to say to you. I'd say strong body is a strong mind, go train.
If you still feel like killing yourself, I don't know what to say to you. Why would you say that to someone who is contemplating suicide? I've had a fair amount of people reach out to me and tell me about how they're thinking about suicide, but my ego is not big enough to start spouting off what I think they should do. I might mention some resources or some different practices that have been helpful to others, but my overall advice would be go see some professional help. And if you're underage, then go talk to your parent, your teacher, counselor, whoever it is in your life that will listen to you and can get you the help that you need. The fact that his advice is basically get a six-pack, and if that doesn't work, your life is pretty much over, is extremely harmful. With that being said, though, I do agree with this statement Andrew Tate makes on depression in the world.
I refuse to accept that there are people out there who cannot become happy, contented individuals. I refuse to accept we live in a world where God has created people who, no matter how hard they work and how good their life becomes, can't be happy.
I don't believe there is anyone who is fatally stuck in a state of depression forever, but I do believe there is people who feel that way about themselves, and I believe that most of those people haven't taken any action to get the help that they need or take any actions on themselves to try and help. If you're struggling with depression, go seek help via a professional. If that's not an option, there are tons of things you can do, some of which I mentioned earlier in this video. In this day and age that we live in now, we have access to the world's greatest doctors, therapists, psychologists, and we have access to all these people for free. It's all online. You just have to go seek out this information and then start implementing this stuff into your life. But it's up to you to make sure you're seeking out information from the right people. And that probably shouldn't be Andrew Tate, at least not when it comes to mental health. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like it and subscribe if you have not already. Also, my new book comes out March 31st of this year. So if you'd like to go and get it, you can pre-order, although pre-order is only available for subscribers, in which you can go to feellessanxious.com. Although if you're not a subscriber, you're not going to be able to access the website.
Like, I'm really sorry, okay?
I guess you're just going to have to subscribe first. That way you can come in and pre-order my video. I bet that trick will work. Until next time, see you all.